What are you so afraid of? Which of these fears that you may hold are rational? What's the kind of story behind these fears? How can you break through these fears? So this video is going to be an opportunity, if you so choose, to have some pretty serious breakthroughs. Now do each exercise as I go through it. Pause the video, do the whole thing, really dive in and get the most out of this. I promise you, if you really explore this, it will open up. The rest of your week will feel completely different if you watch this short video in its entirety and do all the exercises. And don't forget to subscribe and like so that you get access to these videos when they get released. All right, let's dive in. Now, I want you to take a second and I want you to write a list of everything that you fear when it comes to social situations. When you think about walking up to someone that you find interesting looking and you want to start a chat with them, or maybe you're going to a party and you feel some anxiety come up, or you're going to a networking event, what is it that is causing that anxiety? What is the fear behind that anxiety? What's the thing that's stopping you from taking action in a way that you deep down know that you want to? What is it? Take a moment and just list out all the things that feel true about what you're really afraid of. I'm afraid I'm going to be judged. I'm afraid I'm going to look foolish. I'm afraid people are going to laugh at me. I'm afraid my status is going to go down. I'm afraid things will start going well and then I'll blow it. I'm afraid I'll end up on some embarrassing video clip on YouTube. What is it that you are afraid of? Take a moment, pause the video, and write down, what are you so afraid of? What's the thing? And there's no judgment, because there's obviously something that's stopping you. So let's really understand what it is. Take a second, pause the video, and write down as many things as you can. So, you've got a list of things that you're afraid of. Now what I want you to do is I want you to look at it, and I want you to write under each one, or next to it, whatever, why are you afraid of it? What is the reason that you're afraid of it? And we're just trying to keep digging and digging until we find some kind of essential truth about what you're afraid of. So keep digging on each one of those. What is it that you're really afraid of within that fear? Why does that fear come up for you? What's the deeper thing? Pause the video again and write that down. Okay, so now I want you to, next to, on the left side of your list, I want you to write down, scale of 1 to 100, do percentage. What is the likelihood of the thing, whatever that is, happening? What's the likelihood that you, and try to be realistic, what's the likelihood that you actually think that thing you fear will happen? Everyone laughs at you. What's the likelihood of that? Take a second and write those down. Again, now looking at that list, what are, of that list, what are the ones that have happened? Circle the ones that have happened to you. Not that you heard about happening to someone else, not that you're afraid of happening or sort of happened but didn't really happen, but you sort of feel. Actually happened. Circle the ones that actually happened. Okay, so hopefully you have recognized through this percentage and circling process that the likelihood of these things happening is not that high. It's actually, in your mind, it's a lot higher than is realistic. And the other thing that I'd like you to be aware of is that the things that you're afraid of happening are leading to one thing, which is not being loved. In like a very kind of simple way, what you're afraid of is not being loved, not being accepted. Same thing. So if that is true for you, which most likely it is because it's true for all of us, that's a big fear. It's an ancient fear. Recognize that what you're doing, which is removing yourself from situations that you want to engage in, is having the effect that you're trying to avoid. You're creating the reality that you're trying to avoid. Let that sink in. Your actions right now are creating the reality that you don't want to happen. That right there is bitter medicine, but really important that you get it. By shining a light on these fears and actually looking at them, it's kind of like the monsters under the bed. You shine a light and suddenly they disappear. They're not as scary as you thought. So by looking at them, you gain some level of control over them. But only if you start to take action and you move into these areas that kind of make you feel anxious with new skills. So keep watching these videos. Got a ton of great content in here for you so that you can develop the skills and go out there and meet people and have lots of fun. Don't forget to subscribe and like so that you get first access to these videos when they get released. Okay, see you guys in the next video.